All right, let's get going. I expect folks to keep trickling in over the next 10 to 15, but we'll get started. We have a pretty tight agenda. Next slide, please. All right, everybody, welcome. Like I said, this is our very first Biketivist Forum of 2024. We're super excited. We have a couple of guest speakers. We're going to be doing a breakout room workshop, and we're going to do our best to stay on time and to run it as smoothly as possible. Here is our agenda. We'll just be doing a welcoming, some goals, a couple of agreements that we want to follow as we have our discussion. We're going to hear about the bike and scooter share project, and then we're going to break out into our small group discussions for 30 minutes. Come back, we'll do a report out, and then we'll close it out at 7:15. That gives folks about 45 minutes to, or however long you need for our local team members. If you need longer than 8 o'clock to stay on to do your business, we can work something out. Santa Clara County folks, at 6:20, we will have all of our breakout rooms open. So if you'd like to just get cracking on that and start your local team campaigns, feel free to do that. Santa Clara County folks, you can also participate in the breakout session as well. Visitors, we want to hear from visitors, people that frequently go into the peninsula, into San Mateo County, and hear about your experiences. So you're more than welcome to do that. Next slide. All right, so want to just start us off here on some very basic foundation. Here are the goals for tonight's meeting. We want to share information about the project. We want to understand your current attitudes about bike and scooter share, your current beliefs, misconceptions, or conceptions that are true. Obtain community perspectives, input, and then understand how we can make a program that is accessible, affordable, and practical. So those are our big, guideposts for what we want to get done today. Next slide. Want to start off with these agreements. We want to listen, be active listeners. We don't want to unmute ourselves and get into every topic. We don't have the time for that. We want to ask ourselves, why are we talking? Am I taking up too much space? Am I providing too much detail in this story when I know this story or this perspective, this experience could be summarized, more succinctly, so that others can also, provide feedback. When you speak, you don't want to be pitching. You want to be bringing a brick, right, so that we can build this wall together. Or I don't like building walls. Maybe we can build a house together, so we can, live happily in it. Yes, and is a great thing to learn. For my folks that didn't take improv, it is one of the best ways to be building. We are very process oriented, so we want to make sure that we're doing things right as we do them. We don't want to just get whatever feedback you have. We want to do things the right way. Assume best intent, and just self-care and community care. Pay attention to your to your needs. If you need to go to the restroom, if you need to eat right now, this is dinner time for some folks, no worries, feel free to munch, as long as you have enough for everybody. Okay, next slide, please. This is our project team. Their beautiful faces. We'll hear a little bit about the CCAG team, Kim, Kaki. You heard from Chris just right now, and Mariposa Planning Solutions, and Brittany is also on this call. Next slide. And then our SVBC folks, that's me and Heather. Next slide. So with that, I am going to hand it off to Kim Weaver from CCAG.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Kim Weaver, Transportation Program Specialist for CCAG. So just a little background on who CCAG is. So CCAG, also known as the City County Association of Governments of San Mateo County, operates as a joint powers authority and has membership that includes each of the 20 cities and the county. CCAG works on issues that affect the quality of life, transportation, air quality, land use planning, hazardous waste, climate planning, energy, water resources, and waste management. CCAG also recently developed an equity framework plan that included an equity definition. CCAG defines equity as acknowledging and addressing historic and existing disparities so that race, class, ethnicity, gender, age, disability, or other demographics do not determine economic, health, and quality of life outcomes. Next slide. So bike and scooter share are quick and convenient options for short one-way trips. It's about usually 15 to 45 minutes or about 2 miles or less. It can include bicycles, electric bicycles, or electric scooters that may be borrowed as part of a self-service rental program. It typically benefits those who don't own their own device and can also help solve the first last mile challenges to get people to and from transit. Typically, to use bike or scooter share, you first sign up using your phone or a credit card. After one signs up, you then check out the device and ride it to your destination and lock it and end your trip. There are also options for those who are unbanked. For example, the Bay Wheels program in San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose offers an option for people to pay cash and then load it on a Clipper card, which they can then use to unlock the device. Next slide. So this pilot program will prioritize equity. This slide will share some examples of an equitable bike and scooter share program. So the Bay Wheels program, the Bike Share for All, has examples of affordability and access. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, Bay Wheels has flexible payment options, such as in-person payment and sign-up options at local libraries and community-based bike shops. In addition, the program includes reduced rate memberships to Bay Area residents who qualify for CalFresh, SFMTA, Lifeline Pass, or PG&E Care. The first year is $5, and then it's $5 after that, with no annual commitment required. Second example is the Portland's Biketown program, which is an example of workforce development. So Portland's High Road Standards is an initiative with a three-pronged approach. 1, affordable pricing and accessibility. 2, expanding their system coverage. And 3, training and hiring staff from underserved communities. They exclusively source from training providers and job source programs aimed at the recruitment of underrepresented or underutilized people for entry-level and bike mechanic positions until these groups reach the minimum employment hours. In addition, at least 30% of job hours must be represented by people of color, low-income residents, veterans, disabled individuals, immigrants and refugees, and formerly incarcerated people. Lastly, Philadelphia's Indigo is an example of community engagement and a community-informed station placement. They have living labs, which is a cohort model where cities are used as testing grounds for innovative solutions to identify and replicate best practices that would make any bike or scooter share system more equitable. In the next 5 to 10 years, Indigo hopes to double its footprint, which over the next 2 years will translate to more stations on Philadelphia's south and west sides. Indigo even has an online map where people can weigh in and request future stations. Next slide. The next 2 slides, I'll introduce more about the project that we need your feedback on. So the project began when the CCAG board directed staff to initiate a shared micromobility feasibility study. The study included an analysis that evaluates the feasibility of the program. A set of vision and goals and performance metrics were established for the project. And we did review of relevant best practices on bike and scooter share programs. The team then developed recommendations and an implementation plan based on those deliverables and feedback from our ad hoc advisory group, CCAG committees, and board. The CCAG board adopted the plan in December of 2022. The study recommended a multi-jurisdictional pilot program with a single program manager responsible for procurement and contract management. The study recommended a request for proposals or RFP process to select a vendor to operate a 1 to 2 year pilot to test the structure of a multi-jurisdictional program, evaluate performance, and identify ways to fine-tune program elements such as user fees, service area, parking strategy, and etc. The primary recommended vehicle type is e-bikes, but there is an option to include manual bikes and/or e-scooters as determined by individual jurisdictions. The pilot locations were recommended based on the following criteria. So if it's in an equity focus area, the proximity to transit, proximity to barriers, and demand. The map on the left is the result of the criteria showing the most red or feasible areas and the selected pilot locations. So the first one will be Daly City, Colma, and Broadmoor, representing the North County of San Mateo County. And then the second location will be Redwood City and North Fair Oaks in the southern part of San Mateo County. The pilot would hopefully conclude with recommendations for a permanent program approach for other jurisdictions to opt into. Next slide. In 2023, CCAG began implementation by forming a governance working group of the pilot participating cities, as well as the county, stakeholders, and community advisors like transit agencies. CCAG is currently working with Mariposa Planning Solutions, Emergent Labs, and the Silicon Valley Bicycle Coalition to obtain community input on potential bike and scooter share station locations, gain feedback on what should be included in an equity program for the pilots. We're trying to focus on reducing barriers to use shared bike share and scooter, individual options for low income and unbanked individuals, and those who require the use of an adaptive vehicle. The team will also refine the scope of work and program guidelines for a bike and scooter share operator based on the community's comments, as well as assist with promoting and marketing the program to potential users. The project team has developed a survey and community engagement events like today's virtual session to better understand your needs and preferences to design a program that works best for the community. I'll turn it back to Anthony to start the breakout group sessions.
Next slide. All right, so I'm going to filibuster for a minute to give Myra some time to create our breakout rooms. And in the meantime, I'm going to just go over exactly what we're going to be doing.
We're ready, Anthony.
Oh, they're ready? Awesome, great. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to break out into small group discussions. They will be, for right now, Nick, I'll be getting there, Nick. For right now, we're going to be going into our breakout rooms. And it's going to be Redwood City, North Fair Oaks, Daly City, Broadmoor, Colma. If you live in the proximity of Daly City, Broadmoor, or Colma, please feel free to hop into that breakout room. If you live in proximity to Redwood City, North Fair Oaks, feel free, like for instance, San Carlos or San Mateo, feel free to hop into that one. Everybody else, if you're ways away from those project areas, go ahead and put yourself into the San Mateo group. In our breakout groups, we're going to talk about existing opinions on bike and scooter share. We want to understand how we can make programming practical, equitable, and accessible. And then what is the right price? And how frequently do you want to be paying? Monthly, annually? So we're going to go over all of that with our wonderful facilitators. So with that, I would like to open the breakout rooms. And one really important thing. We are not going to be bringing people back automatically, forcing people back to this main room. We're actually going to have people manually join themselves into the breakout room, and our team here can help you with that if you don't know how to do it, Laura. So we will make sure that that we will do that. No Palo Alto breakout room, Myra. Let's see. Did we miss?
That one was not on the list, so I would
Was it
have
on the
to close
list?
them to
Go ahead and
May.
close them out and do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My my apologies for that.
Folks are given 60 seconds.
Can you create it in the meantime or no?
No, it doesn't let me.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Nope. How did we forget about the Palo Alto team? I am so sorry.
A lot of the folks could have also joined the San Mateo County feedback group, the breakout group.
Do we have any questions, Katie, in the chat while we're waiting for the breakout rooms to be
It looks
open?
like we addressed all the questions. Kaki was kind enough to address, there was one question of, does Santa Clara County have an equivalent organization to CCAG? And Kaki was kind enough to clarify that the Santa Clara Valley Transportation VTA is an equivalent organization.
Did it work?
Hello. All right. Adding Palo Alto and rooms are open again.
Perfect. Sorry, everybody. We needed to create one more room. One more time. If you live in proximity to Daly City, Bromo, Como, let's say you live in Millbrae or San Bruno, feel free to go to that room. If you live in proximity to North Fair Oaks, Redwood City, let's say San Mateo, San Carlos, feel free to enter that room. Everyone else, feel free to go to the San Mateo County room. And it looks like we're not going to have a whole lot of folks in the Santa Clara room. So I'm going to move Diane to the San Mateo County room. All right, our facilitators, feel free to hop into your assigned rooms at this point. I will
Something
stay.
else that Anthony, somebody had a question in the chat about how to join a breakout room. You can
Okay.
find it at the bottom of your screen. It's usually like 4 little windows, and you can click on breakout rooms and select any of the rooms that you want. In the right corner, it should say join. You can join whichever one you feel that you live closest to.
Great. Myra, I can handle the breakouts from here. You can go ahead and get into your
Sounds good.
to your small group.
Do you want me to hop into Colma, Anthony?
Please and thank you. Every facilitator, go for it. Yep. I'll be right there to help you with facilitating.
All good.
Yeah. I'm just going to make sure everybody else is in.
Yeah, Anthony, can we move people?
Yeah, absolutely. Just do it
Um,
without asking. Go for it.
yeah,
Feel
'cause
free
I
to
feel
drop me wherever.
like- Is that
Do you want to
Sunnyvale
participate,
and
Nick?
Santa Clara. There's like one person in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
move Santa Clara and then move some people from San Carlos, Belmont, Redwood City. And there's also a city of San Mateo.
Don't worry, that's a local team.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just Mike Swire by himself.
He's so funny.
He's on our VPAP.
Oh, why don't you hop in and let him know personally what's happening? Maybe he's confused or something. And then let me talk to the San Carlos folks. Okay, well, I'm gonna dive in and do my thing with the facilitators. Can you cover this, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it matter where Kaki and I go to?
No, you flow around wherever you'd like.
Okay. Marie, do you need help moving?
I don't. I know how to move, but I'm confused. Is the first part of this meeting tonight intended for San Mateo County people only?
Yes, but if you visit San Mateo County, we
I
definitely
don't.
allow you to
I think I'm
yeah.
just, if it's okay with you, I'll just stay connected and wait for the other part of the meeting to start.
Okay, yeah, because I think some of the other ones,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
San
know they're gonna have breakouts for San Jose later.
yeah, so San Jose does have one if you want to go over there. Shiloh's there.
They have it now?
Yeah. Do you want me to
Oh,
move?
I didn't see it. Hold on, let me go back to the list. Hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not scrolling. Oh, there it is. I see room 8. I'll go there. Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, and Shiloh's there. Okay.
Yeah.
Be nice to see Shiloh. Thanks a lot.
Jonathan or Joseph, do you need help moving to a room?
I'm okay. I just have to take a break and then I'll look for a room.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Joseph. This is my first time joining a call like this. How do I enter a room?
It should be at the very bottom. Is it? I'm not sure what yours looks like.
I'm using Zoom on.
Oh, your phone. I can manually move you, I think. Let's see. What room would you like to go to? Or where are you located or based at?
Hello? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. I see it now. Join breakout room.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay. I may go do that.
Let me know if you have any issues.
Thanks.
I'll be right back.
Thanks.
I just wanted to know that we're in the breakout rooms right now. Going over bike share and scooter share feedback. Let me know if you want me to move you, if you don't see the breakout option at the bottom.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could move me, or I can join, I guess, the one that's closest to me.
Perfect. Oh, Grandpa Kenny just gave her. Grandpa Kenny already fed her.
I'm a little bit late. Am I missing something? Because
Yeah,
it seems
so-
like there's nobody here.
So yeah, we're doing our breakout sessions to get bike share, scooter share feedback right now.
Oh,
If you regularly attend, I know that some Santa Clara counties are just meeting with their groups right now, but you'll have a chance to meet with your group as well at 7:15. You're more than welcome to join any group 1 through 3 if you want to give some feedback on bike share. and scooter.
Oh man, I just got done with the bike ride. That was food down the wrong tube. Sorry. All right, cool. I'll join one of the breakout rooms if I can find them. Where are the breakout rooms? Oh, join breakout room.
Yeah, it should be at the
I
bottom.
see. Palo Alto, San Jose,
Yeah, it
San
looks like
Mateo, Santa Clara's got 0,
yeah, I think
and
they're
Sunnyvale's.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they're just not meeting yet. They're meeting later at 7:15. So it looks like only Santa
Gotcha.
Mountain View and Palo Alto are meeting. And then you can join either room 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I see. Sunnyvale's got one. But I'll pick one and listen, and then join up with Sunnyvale later. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Time for a beer.
Mhm.
Yep.
I was just wondering if you needed help getting into a breakout room. Right now we're in the breakout rooms discussing bike share and scooter share. But I'm not sure if you also attend these meetings regularly. Some Santa Clara breakout rooms are also open. I can also help you move if you can't find it at the very bottom, the breakout rooms. Just let me know where you're based at.
Do this. Hello, are you guys there still? I'm sorry, something happened. Uh-oh.
We're all just bailing out of the break room.
Hey there. I meant to broadcast and I closed all the breakouts. Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Are you-
yep.
Whoops. I meant to broadcast 1 minute and I accidentally closed all of the breakout rooms. So work in progress. Sorry, everybody. It's no worries. We'll just start the share out. In the meantime, let's give our facilitators a second and pull up their Jamboards. Welcome back,
How about the
everybody.
local group
Yeah,
would like
sorry.
to continue meeting?
Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all. We
I'm gonna
acci-
open the room so that the other groups can continue their meeting. How about that?
Yeah, go for
Thank
it.
you.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah.
I meant to do the 1 minute warning and I accidentally hit end breakout rooms. My apologies.
And it looks like I'm being invited back into the San Mateo County room, so I'm guessing the same is happening for others as well. So for those of you, I guess, that are participating in the bike share conversation, I'm guessing you click on the not now, correct?
Yeah, no, just stay here.
Yeah, stay here.
If you're a part of
gonna-
the bike and scooter share, just please stay here. Heather, can you screen share the slides, I think? Or go ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna hop into my San Mateo County group just to make sure that nobody ended up
I
joining.
can bring them back to the main session, Chris. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, so you'll do it? Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, so
Santa Clara teams,
I'll stay
we're so sorry, Santa Clara teams, for disrupting. I think it was just Palo Alto and Sunnyvale, maybe some Mountain View folks. But for the rest of our workshop participants, thank you. I know that going in and out of rooms isn't always that easy.
Anthony, I'll share
yeah.
in a sec. Do we need to do anything with the recording? Do you need to start that again, or is it still going?
It's still going.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Let's see.
Yep.
Great.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We got everybody back. No one's in breakout rooms. Is that correct?
Yes, we're good.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Yanking you back in. I hit the wrong button, such as technology. My apologies to the Santa Clara County teams. Let's just get back into the share out. Really quick, facilitators, queue up your Jamboards. We're going to go team group by group, and we're going to share kind of the things that we heard. We'll do 2 to 3 minutes a piece, and we should be out of here at 7:15, or 3 minutes a piece. We'll be out of here by 7:15. Okay. Katie, can I get you to share your screen now?
Yes, absolutely. 1 second. Here we go.
Perfect. Cool. So a couple things that we heard about our first question, dislikes, likes. I think people prefer not to get in their cars to take those short trips. So for those trips that it makes more sense to hop on a bike or scooter, it's a really convenient thing to have. We heard that. We heard that they're fun to ride. We heard that they're usually found near transit. So people who are frequently using public transportation can use it to cut their trip short, or the trip time short. Things we heard that they don't like. Some people think they're dangerous. The people in our group thought that it could be hard to enforce certain rules, and people not having helmets, things like that. There was another. Sometimes the bikes run out during peak times when there's a lot of people checking these bikes out. There's not enough to go around, which is a great problem, but it's still a problem. We want to make sure we have that supply. And of course, usually you find them in random locations, which is a common thing that we hear about stations. Next slide. Things to make it practical and accessible. we want to be able to prioritize riders with disabilities. We heard about how not cost effective it is, and there's more on that. And how it can be, really expensive if you do it, trip by trip. We also thought that it could be a good thing to tie it with the Clipper card so that it's interoperable and we're not, having to download different applications and signing up to different programs in order to pay for the bike and shooter skin. Next slide. And then in terms of enrollment options, I think a lot of the folks in our group preferred a monthly membership to an hourly or an annual, which is really cool to see. And we had a really, really great comment about the potential to see bike link lockers. Oh yeah, plans for seniors with so that we can go for, so basically making it so that it's ultra cheap so that people with disabilities, seniors, people who are disadvantaged in some way can have access to it as well. So that's what we heard from the Daly City Broadmoor Colma Collective up north. I will pass it off to Redwood City, North Fair Oaks, and I think that's Heather who took notes.
And Anthony, a quick question, just out of curiosity, about how many people did you have in your group?
I had 13.
Roughly
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that look? Everyone see that?
Heather, do you want to go?
Looks good.
Sure, I can share out. I think we had a lot of the similar likes and dislikes. We did spend a lot of time talking about docked and undocked, both in the first question and the second question. There was a lot of feelings about undocked, cluttering and all of that, but then also thoughts on prioritizing getting people to use it over the clutter. Let's see, anything else we saw that? Likes also expands, transportation mobility options for those that don't own their own equipment. And having the ability to do one-way trips rather than lugging equipment for the whole trip, for the whole round trip. For the second question, this is where we did spend a lot of time talking about the docked and undocked on this one. We had a couple of other comments. Let's see. Oh, I think here it was, there was an interesting point about, kind of basically just dealing with the clutter for the near term, because getting people to use it is much more important, and then it'll sort of get sorted out as it becomes more popular. There was a comment about a monthly pass being helpful to budget. And then see, maybe I should go on to the next question. Did I miss anything, Brittany, on that one? Anything you want to highlight on that question?
For two, yeah, the conversation around docked and undocked, there's the idea of having a dockless system allows for some predictability. It avoids the clutter, but then we did bring into the conversation of if there's a potential for excluding certain communities because certain dock systems don't always support. If the commercial density isn't there, then you can't always make the business case to do a dock system. And so when we're thinking about equity and accessibility, are there implications to having a dock system? And so kind of having some trade-offs with docked and dockless and kind of bringing that to the forefront. And we had a lot of conversations around affordability. Some people want to make it free. The conversation, transportation as a human right came up. So that's what I remember from slide.
Great. And then at one point I did want to bring up is that we were talking about the idea of a hybrid system where there's docked and undocked, for kind of addressing all of those things. Okay, and then for 3, we had a couple of comments. I think the one that probably stuck out most to me was the idea of making it as easy as possible so that there was sort of, you pay as you go, but then once you hit what would be a daily limit or a monthly limit, the system just kind of automatically charges you that. And so you always know that you're getting the best price possible and that you don't have to think too much about it. There was actually a comment in the beginning that I think was a little bit of a throwaway comment, but I think it was helpful. Someone was talking about using rideshare in other countries and having language barriers. And so I think that is important here, that the instructions and how to use the devices and how to pay are very clear to as many people as possible. And then also along that same lines, just making sure that the fee system is clear. And that's sort of where that automatically kind of capping it came in. Another idea was to get libraries involved. We had talked about that. Let's see. And then integration with the Clipper card came up here as well too. Okay, I think that was it. Anything else, Brittany, you wanted to add on that one?
No, that was beautiful. Thanks, Heather.
Great.
Thank you all. And that would be San Mateo, Myra, and Chris.
All right, can you see my screen okay? Yeah, so we had a good discussion. We talked about on the first question, naming one thing that folks liked and one thing that they dislike. You can see a cluster of things that a lot of dislikes, but there's also a lot of really good feedback. There is somebody like how easily and accessible they are, especially for transportation and going to school. There was a comment about electric bikes and how they like the electric bikes because they're easy to use and faster. And they like that they are close to transit stops and in places where people can easily transfer to a different transportation. And they especially like the ones that are electrical and electrically powered for faster transportation. And similar to what the other groups were talking about, the dislike, it's a lot about that cluster and like where people are leaving the scooters or the bikes and how they make kind of like the city feel like if they were not cared for properly and things of that sort. They dislike that. A lot of these services don't yet have the access for Clipper cards, and then you need to have a cell phone to be able to unlock these. Yeah, a lot of these are how there is money being used, for example, for widening highways, and there's not a lot of money being used for this type of mobility options. Yeah, then having them being piled up in appropriate places and on the sidewalks, so preventing pedestrians from using the sidewalks as well. And for the second question on the ways that we can make them more practical, accessible, and equitable, we had a lot of really great comments. One of them, I forget the name of the gentleman who shared this, but something like SB 457, paying people to not have cars, for example, and maybe paying people to use these rideshare options. There's also comments about making it free and charging people for driving. Putting these at the parking docks at the corners or intersections, taking advantage of the day lighting law regarding parking next to intersections, keeping prices low and giving discounts to regular users or those with less money. Again, the comment about making sure the Clipper cards are everywhere and making sure that there is enough accessibility for sizes and for different abilities. And giving basic context of safety of riding bikes. So giving that information and education on how to use these services would be super helpful, especially for getting people to use them appropriately, but also making sure that they are put away in a way that is helpful for the community and not a danger for pedestrians and everybody who uses the streets. And the last question, we didn't have much time to go over the last question with everybody who was in our group, but most of the comments that we heard was pay as you go. So instead of having those different enrollment options, making sure that people are able to pay for them when they're using it. No enrollment, just pay for each use. And then there's a comment, consider MTC has pilot project called Clipper Bay Pass. Use a single payment system for all the transit agencies. So hopefully this would include these shared rides options as well. Chris, is there anything that I'm not highlighting that you'd like to highlight?
There was one comment about it was sort of a question and comment about what if I want to go to a place that's not very transit accessible, right? And let's say go for a hike somewhere and leave the bike or the scooter share device at that location, and have the confidence that I can come back and then take it on the way back and not just sort of be left out in a situation where I don't have another option. So that was one thing that was suggested, was having the ability to be able to book something for even a few hours, for example, which it's good to know. I wanted to actually offer up the opportunity for any of our group members to speak, especially on that third item, third question, since we kind of ran out of time. If there's anything else that y'all wanted to share. Okay. So with that, Anthony, I'll hand it over. We'll hand it over back to you. How are we doing on time? It feels like we're kind of towards the end of our allotted time, right?
Yeah, we are closing out now. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Before we do the farewells, I want to show you a couple of resources. If you haven't had a chance, please visit the project page. That'll go into great detail exactly where this came about, the feasibility study that was completed in 22, and then also this community outreach that we're doing. If you haven't had a chance to take the survey and this wonderful mapping tool that our team built, please do that. We're going to have somebody from our team drop all of these links in the chat right now. So please feel free to take a look at those sites. Next slide, please. We have a couple of events, so please help us spread the word. I'm sure you've seen them in our newsletters. Here they are: Daly City pop-up bike repair next Tuesday. We have a Caltrain pop-up tabling event on Tuesday, January 30th. And then a really great event we're throwing with several partners in the Redwood City, North Fair Oaks area. It's a bike repair clinic. And that one, we could really use extra hands in terms of volunteers. If you know how to, wrench, fix bikes, replace tires, we would love your help. All these links to all these events are going to be down in the chat. Next slide. Okay, and I'll pass it off to Kim.
Well, that's it. Anthony kind of stole me, but yeah, we appreciate your input and discussion today. It was great to hear from you guys and get another perspective. We've been on this project since 2022, and we definitely want to perfect it and not rush it and learn lessons from others. So thank you again. And again, if you could take the survey, share the survey, come join us at other engagement events or share the events, that'd be great. If you have additional questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me or Anthony. But thank you for spending the day with us.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kaki. Thank you, consulting team, Brittany, Chris, for joining us today. I don't know how long it's been, Chris, since you've been on a Biketivist forum call. Or I don't think they existed when you were a board member, probably.
That's how old I am. Yeah, no, I don't think they existed.
So yeah, that's it, everybody. That is 7:15. You love to see it. Okay, we're all done. If you are going to be in a meeting with your local team, the local team breakout rooms will be open until 8 o'clock tonight. If you need longer than 8 o'clock tonight, we can figure something out. Otherwise, if you're planning on going home, if you're part of this, if you're only here for the workshop, my name is Anthony, and maybe you don't know who I am. With the Bike Coalition, I forgot to introduce myself. And you're at a Biketivist forum where a bunch of advocates come and talk about how to improve our communities by making bicycling safe, making our roadways safer, making the streets slower in terms of vehicles traveling on them. Thank you for joining us. Please come to a future event. If you want to get involved, please email me and I can help you get involved with all of SUBC's programming. Otherwise, good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Anthony, should the team hold on?
Hold on, let me stop recording first.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do we?